I love coming across scriptures in the Bible that I've already read, but once I read it again, it just hit different. My brothers, my sisters, come, let us reason with one another. I'm going to go through some of my notes from the book of Proverbs that I wrote down last year. And when I read these notes to people and I showed them the scriptures that I wrote these notes from, these principles, every every single one of my friends that I showed this to, all my Christian friends, they were all shocked. And the reason I bring this up is because many times when we read the Bible, there are some things in there that just sound too good to be true. And when we read the Bible, we often just gloss over things. I think a lot of times people read the Bible just to many different reasons. Some people read the Bible so that they can preach it to people. Some people read the Bible so that they can feel good about a life situation. Maybe something happened. I'm going to show you some stuff from Proverbs that might shock you from my notes. And hey, if this is wrong, what I'm about to show you, feel free to correct me. This is just, I didn't write these notes down to preach them at people. I wrote these notes because these are things that shocked me when I was really paying attention. What the heck? Oh, shoot. Anyways, right on. These were things that shocked me when I read it. And when I take notes, I write the notes for myself. So here we go. Here are some principles from Proverbs. First off, the beginning of Proverbs talks about what wisdom is and the benefits of wisdom and reasons. And if you don't have wisdom, what are the consequences of that? So, what comes with wisdom? Happiness, length of days, riches, and honor. These are things that kind of shocked me. Talk about riches. I have a lot of notes. So when we get to some of these things, it'll better explain. It says, don't trust your own understanding. Another principle gives knowledge and judgment. If you do all that you can to get wisdom, you will attain God's knowledge. Wisdom is for the righteous. From God comes wisdom. Your life will be preserved by getting wisdom. Your life will be preserved by getting wisdom. You will know what choices to make. A lot of people don't know, should I do this? Does God want me to do that? When you have wisdom, you just know. And I bring this up because the New Testament continually tells you to get wisdom. James tells you to get wisdom. Jesus Christ tells you to get wisdom. Apostle Paul. And I'm like, why does everyone want you to get wisdom so much? I mean, obviously there are some obvious reasons, but let me continue. Wisdom will protect you from wicked people. Wisdom will keep you walking upright. What? This is something that I wrote down last year that I got out of Proverbs. Wisdom will keep you walking upright. So many people are trying to live right and do the right thing, and you keep making mistakes. And it says that wisdom will keep you upright. Wisdom brings peace. So many people want peace. Wisdom, when it's ingrained on your heart, will bring both favor with God and mankind. So many people want favor. They want favor from God. They want favor with man. And it talks in the New Testament says how Jesus Christ had favor with both God and man. And in the book of Luke, Jesus Christ, when he was around the age of 12, it says that he went and got wisdom. It's crazy. But he's the son of God, though. Like, wouldn't he already know everything? Wouldn't he already have all knowledge? It's interesting. I did a whole study on wisdom, and I'm still studying it because there's so much on it that I'm like, I didn't know that the Bible said all this stuff until I started looking. Wisdom will bring a good reputation. So many people try to share the gospel with people. Many times when people try to tell people about Jesus and they get rejected by those people, oftentimes they think they're doing a good thing. And it's not always the case. Because people are like, well, the gospel offends. And it's like there's a subconsciously people think that if you have a bad reputation because you're a Christian, this is a good sign that you're doing the right thing because the gospel offends. But as I read you before, wisdom will bring a good reputation. Wisdom will protect you from wicked people. It brings you honor as well. I don't want to go on a rabbit trail right now. Let me continue reading. Maybe I'll get to that other point later if I remember. Don't depend on your own understanding and keep getting wisdom from God. Wisdom makes life easy. Wisdom makes life easy. Wisdom brings safety. Wisdom brings no fear and good sleep. If you have something that can help people, do not withhold it. So that's what I get. At this point, I started writing down which specific verses I was getting these principles from. So let me see what that verse was. That's Proverbs 3:27. So let me see. When it is in your power, don't withhold good from the one to whom it belongs. Okay, the next one. Don't be jealous of evil people and don't imitate them. Proverbs 3:31. Don't envy a violent man or choose any of his ways. Okay. Don't be jealous. Wise people will inherit honor and glory. The beginning of wisdom is to get it and do everything you can to understand it. So that's Proverbs 4:7. So obviously we see in the beginning of Proverbs, it says the beginning of wisdom, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of the wisdom. But then it also says, let me see what it says over here. Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is supreme, so get wisdom, and whatever else you get understanding. I think I probably read in a different translation. NIV. A lot of people don't like NIV. NIV says the beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom, though it cost all you have, get understanding. Cherish her, and she will exalt you. Embrace her, and she will honor you. She will give you a garland to grace your head and present you with a glorious crown. Wisdom will make you great and promote you. So that's 4:8. Cherish her, and she will exalt you. If you embrace, she will honor you. You won't stumble. It says, Proverbs 4:12. When you walk, your steps will not be hindered. What does it say in this one? When you walk, your steps will not be hampered. When you run, you will not stumble. Amazing. Your life depends on good instruction. Proverbs 4:13. Hold on to instruction. Do not let it go. Guard it well, for it is your life. For it is your life. That is deep. For it is your life. It places such a high importance on wisdom. It says it will protect you. It'll give you a good reputation. It'll give you honor. It'll give you riches. Let's continue. And this is more than one time. Wisdom brings life and good health to the body. 4:22. For they are life to those who find them and health to one's whole body. Wow. What are some reasons why wisdom can bring health? Well, you're wise in your decision when it comes to your physical health, the way you eat, the way you take care of your body. That could be one reason. Do everything to protect your mind because this is where life happens. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Keep your mouth free of perversity. Keep corrupt talk far from your lips. It's not good for bad things to come out of your mouth. Exalt wisdom and she will exalt you. Oh, I put a question mark because I was like, what does that mean exactly? Never enter into a relationship with an immoral woman. It will destroy your life. Save your purity for your wife when you're young, it says. Or in my notes. Study the ant. It prepares for the future without anyone telling it to. It prepares for the future. I wrote this one down because it was something where it reminds me of how a lot of people, when they talk about Jesus and he says not to worry about tomorrow. And so oftentimes people think like, well, okay, I can't prepare for the future because Christ said not to worry about tomorrow. Kind of overanalyzing the scriptures. The principle in here, study the ant. That's Proverbs 6:6. Oh, let me actually read this part. It says, so do this, my son. Oh, this is so deep. I'll start in the beginning of Proverbs 6. My son, if you have up security for your neighbor, if you have shaken hands and pledged for a stranger, you have been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the words of your mouth. So do this, my son, to free yourself, since you have fallen into your neighbor's hands. Go to the point of exhaustion and give your neighbor no rest. Allow no sleep to your eyes, no slumber to your eyelids. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the fowler. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways. These aren't separate, at least from what I'm reading. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provision in summer and gathers its food at harvest. How long will you lie there, you sluggard? When you get up from your sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man. So it's telling us poverty is not a good thing. And look, at the end of that, it literally tells you, and poverty will come on you like a thief. It's telling you to bust your butt. Like get to get out of debt. And don't stop. It's so deep. Like, but we ignore this stuff because we're like, oh, that's the Old Testament. So these are some of my notes. I'm going to just keep going. I don't know how long I'm going to go on this, but watch this. More notes from last year on Proverbs. Don't sleep too much or be lazy. This is a poverty behavior that guarantees you'll be poor. So the wisdom that God gave to King Solomon is to not be lazy. Don't be a sluggard, because it'll make you poor. It'll bring poverty upon you. And a lot of people are like, well, God doesn't want us to be wealthy. He doesn't want us to be wealthy. And I already read in the beginning how it says that wisdom will give you riches. Now, I'm not preaching prosperity gospel. I'm just reading you the Bible and the notes that I wrote, that I got out of it. So if you're angry at this, get angry with God, because this is what I'm reading you the scriptures with it. Wisdom is more important. Oh, wait, hold on. Whatever you do, wisdom will guide you, protect you in the moment. Let me see what that means. Why did I write that one down? 6:22. When you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you awake, they will speak to you. Okay, let me go on the beginning of that one. So, verse 20. My son, keep your father's command and do not forsake your mother's teaching. Bind them always on your heart. Fasten them around your neck. When you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you awake, they will speak to you. For this command is a lamp. This teaching is a light. And correction and instruction are the way of life. Keep you from your neighbor's wife, from the smooth talk of a wayward woman. Do not lust in your heart after her beauty, or let her captivate you with her eyes. So anyways, I wrote that down because it talked about when you sleep, it'll protect you. When you're awake, it'll protect you. No matter what's going on, in the moment, wisdom's going to protect you. And so don't ignore the wisdom that your father and your mother gives you. Wisdom is more important than anything that can be desired. 8:11. Why did I write that one down? For wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing can you desire can compare to her. Amazing. Wisdom brings power and royal power and authority. 8:14 through 16. Let me see what I wrote here, or what the Bible says here. 14. Counsel and sound judgment are mine. I have insight. I have power. By me, kings reign and rulers issue decrees that are just. By me, princes govern and nobles. By me. Dude, let me. Every time I. Okay. I highlighted in the Bible, starting at verse 12, chapter 8. I, wisdom, dwell together with prudence. I possess knowledge and discretion. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride and arrogance, evil behavior and perverse speech. Counsel and sound judgment are mine. Listen to this. I have insight. I have power. By me, kings reign and rulers issue decrees that are just. I think I highlighted this because, to my remembrance, I know a lot of people who say, if you believe in God, you should not be in a position of power. You should not be a king, a ruler, a president, a governor. Don't get involved in politics. Don't be in high positions of power. This world is perishing. And right here, this is what it says. I have insight. I have power. By me, kings reign and rulers issue decrees that are just. I had people tell me that you shouldn't be a judge, because if you're a judge, you might have to execute judgment on someone. You might have to issue a death penalty on someone. But it says, by me, kings reign and rulers issue decrees that are just. So you will rule in a righteous way. You will have righteous judgment. By me, princes govern and nobles, all who rule on earth. I love those who love me, and those who seek me find me. Wisdom. With me, again, with me are riches and honor and enduring wealth and prosperity. I know so many people have a conflict with this. So many people have a conflict with this, but I'm reading to you the Holy Bible, what it says. Now you might be like, okay, read a different translation. I don't agree with Proverbs. I don't agree with the NIV. Let me try King James. Let me try King James. What does King James say? I'll start from the beginning again. At verse 12 on chapter 8, I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of witty inventions. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogance and the evil way. And the froward mouth do I hate. Counsel is mine and sound wisdom. I am understanding. I have strength. By me kings reign and princes decree justice. By me princes rule and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. All the judges of the earth. People say, don't be a judge if you're a Christian. I love them that love me, and those who seek me those who seek me early shall find me. So I think it's talking about like getting up early in the morning. I highlighted this as well. And again, in the King James, it also says this: riches and honor are with me. Yea, durable riches, and righteousness. Riches and righteousness? My fruit is better than gold, yea, the fine gold. And my revenue than choice silver. I lead in the way of righteousness in the midst of the paths of judgment, that I may cause those who love me to inherit substance. So people who are like, only riches in heaven, only in heaven, only in heaven. This is talking about we need wisdom right now. And it tells us that I may cause those who love me to inherit substance. Substance, something physical, not spiritual. It's like physical. This is crazy. Again, not prosperity gospel. I'm literally just reading you the Bible. And I will fill their treasures. Treasures. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. Now, let me pause here. I don't want you to get caught up with this, because wealth, money, riches, substance, resources, this is a touchy topic for Christians. This is a pain point for Christians. So don't ignore everything else that I'm reading to you. Because when I get to this part, it's such a pain point for people that when I point it out, your mind will start thinking, this guy is only talking about riches and wealth and money. But it's a pain point for you. You're only noticing when I'm talking about riches and wealth when I get to that point, because it's a pain point for you. Don't ignore everything else that I just read about avoiding the adulterous woman and different things. Okay, let me keep going. Let me go back to my notes. I was just reading to you the Bible. Let me go back to my notes. So it says, seek wisdom early and it will be found. It's part of my notes. Riches and honor come with wisdom. What wisdom can produce is better than just money. This is so my notes. Wisdom will cause a person to inherit substance and nice things. They will be given treasure. I wrote that down because it shocked me when I came across that. God used wisdom to create everything. I wrote that down because I thought that was important. He tells us to get wisdom, and it says that God used wisdom to create everything. The man who gets wisdom daily will be blessed. So that's 8:34. Blessed are those who listen to me, watching daily at my door, waiting at my doorway. So there's a lot of Christians out there who don't think they need to get wisdom. They like, I just have the Holy Spirit and I'll just read the Bible and pray and I'll go to church, and like I don't need to like get wisdom. Right? The Holy Spirit will just lead me. But it tells you that you need to deliberately seek after wisdom. Don't just get wisdom passively. And I think when I started to not get wisdom passively, but intentionally seek after it, all of a sudden it's like my eyes were open and I saw these passages in a whole different light. Whoever finds wisdom will have an amazing life, and God himself will favor him. Okay, let me see what Proverbs says. For those who find me find life and receive favor from the Lord. Favor from the Lord. A lot of people are struggling in life. And again, it's again saying that you'll have favor with God. And earlier it says you'll have favor with God and man. And I talked about how Jesus Christ had favor with both God and man. Number 9. Oh, and I wrote down a note because there's 31 chapters in Proverbs. So that's, 31 days in a month. So there's daily wisdom in Proverbs for each chapter. Don't correct evil people. It will hurt you. Only correct those who are wise and righteous, and they will love you more. This is going to be a big problem for people, because so many Christians are trying to go to people who don't want anything to do with God. They don't want nothing to do with Jesus. They don't want correction. They don't want to be corrected. But there are so many people that are constantly pushing their beliefs on people and trying to make them obey God, trying to make them read the Bible, trying to make them go to church, pressuring them. And so I wrote that as a note, but I want to see, what did I read that caused me to write that? It says, Proverbs chapter 9, verse 7 through 8. I highlighted, whoever corrects a mocker invites insults. Whoever rebukes the wicked incurs abuse. Do not rebuke mockers. Don't rebuke them, or they will hate you. Rebuke the wise, and they will love you. So again, I was talking about earlier how so many Christians are trying to like give the gospel to people who don't want nothing to do with it. They don't want nothing to do with God, but they're trying to pressure them because, and then they think that when that person gets offended, they did a good thing. But it's telling you straight up, don't rebuke them, don't correct them. Like if they don't want nothing to do with it, and they're a mocker. So it says, instruct the wise, and they will be wiser still. Verse 9, teach the righteous, and they will add to their learning. That is, wow. And people are like, okay, well, what's a New Testament principle that you can get out of that, such as when Christ says, like if they don't accept you, just wipe the dust off your feet and go to the next town. I once heard someone say, only go to places where you're praised. Not people praising you, like praising the Lord like you're God, but go to only be around people that appreciate you. But if you look online, you're on YouTube or different things, and you see these street preaching, and there's preaching to a crowd of people that want nothing to do with them. The crowd is telling them to shut up. The crowd of people are saying, stop talking about Jesus. We like to continue in our sin and live how we want to live. Bro, it says don't correct them. Like, go to a place where you're praised, where people appreciate what you have to say. This is interesting. And this is what I'm getting out of Proverbs. And then it reminds me of different things in the New Testament. I have a lot of notes, but I'm going to kind of come to a close on this one. And then maybe we'll do a part 2, because I didn't expect to go almost 30 minutes. Those who prepare ahead of time and save are wise. The Lord does not let the righteous go hungry. A lot of people act as if being poor and being in poverty is some virtuous thing, and it's being humble. But it says that the Lord does not let the righteous go hungry, but he thwarts the craving of the wicked. So wicked people, he allows them to crave. Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. Dude, this stuff, it just blows my mind when I see it. I've been going to church, and they speak against wealth. Again, don't be so focused on the wealth thing. Lazy hands make for poverty, so it's not saying poverty is a good thing. Diligent hands bring wealth. He who gathers crops in summer is a prudent son. But he who sleeps during harvest is a disgraceful son. Again, he wants us to be productive. Blessings crown the head of the righteous, but violence overwhelms the mouth of the wicked. This is so interesting and so deep. Wise people speak life and wisdom. So the wise in heart accept commands, but a chattering fool comes to ruin. Chapter 10, verse 15, a man's riches, wealth protect him. And did I complete that note? Hold on. Because I read in Proverbs chapter 10, verse 15, it says, the wealth of the rich is their fortified city, but poverty is the ruin of the poor. I don't say this. It doesn't speak as though being poor and being in poverty is a good thing. Yes, thumbs down. I just read this. It doesn't speak as though being poor and being in poverty is a good thing. But so many Christians speak as though being poor and being in poverty is so humble. Let me read this in the King James. Oh wait, hold on. Let me go up a couple verses. I'll go up to verse 13. Chapter 10, verse 13. Wisdom is found on the lips of the discerning, but a rod is for the back of one who has no sense. Verse 14 says, the wise store up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool invites ruin. Verse 15, the wealth of the rich is their fortified city, but poverty is the ruin of the poor. Poverty. All right, King James. The riches, chapter 10, verse 15, the rich man's wealth is his strong city. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. The destruction of the poor, what's destroying the poor person is their own poverty. I'm just reading the Bible. If this makes you mad, it's in the Bible. But those of you who are seeing this and you're like, wow, I didn't know that was in the Bible. There's more of this. There's more. And so I'm going to come to a close on this one. subscribe to the Creedpodcast. If you like this, tell me what you got out of Proverbs. And the principles that I just showed you, the things that I just showed you, verify it. See if it's in the Bible. Check for yourself. This stuff is so deep. It's like, but again, so many Christians are like, ignore the Old Testament. Just ignore it. And I would say that the book of Proverbs is a blueprint on how we are to live our lives now that we have entered into the kingdom of heaven on earth. This is a blueprint. And this blueprint was for people in the Old Testament. They were living in the Old Testament. Things were way worse back then. How much more for those who have been redeemed, and now they have come to Christ. The Messiah has already arrived. The Holy Spirit's already here. How much more for those people? You're probably not going to make a mistake like King Solomon getting 1,000 wives. All right, y'all. God bless. I hope that enlightened you just a little bit. And if you don't agree, if you're not sure, just think about it. Ponder it. All right, y'all? Subscribe.